There's great excitement on the farm. Since early morning, everyone has been watching the road, waiting for a guest to arrive. In the distance, the steady hum of an engine can already be heard, and dust rises above the country road. It's a new tractor, the biggest one that has ever come here. Slowly, it enters the farmyard, and its power commands respect. Its arrival means change, because 3 great tasks are waiting for it on the farm. The first task is already waiting. The new tractor must transport 3 massive trailers filled with bales straight to the farm. The road is tough, uneven fields and dusty tracks will test its strength. This will be its first real challenge on the farm. The tractor delivered the heavy bales to the field, proving its strength. But this is only the beginning. The next task will be subsoiling, loosening the ground deep below the surface, so the fields can breathe and store more water. For this, a new machine is needed, a strong subsoiler with massive tines that pierce the soil and break through its hardest layers. Together with the tractor, they will form a duo ready for the toughest challenges. The tractor reached the field and unfolded the subsoiler, ready to begin its work. The machine's powerful tines dig deep into the ground, breaking through the hard layers of soil. With every pass, the earth opens up, letting water flow freely and roots grow deeper. With each meter, the field becomes richer and better prepared for future harvests. The subsoiling is finished, and the field is ready for new crops. But the tractor's work is far from over. Now comes the hardest challenge, clearing a trailer filled with massive stones. Each one weighs hundreds of kilos, and together they form a true test. In this task, the tractor will prove just how much it is really capable of. This task turns out to be especially demanding. The road climbs steeply uphill, and the heavy trailer full of stones must be pulled in reverse. Every backward move requires immense precision, and even the smallest mistake could end in failure. Step by step, the tractor proves its strength and endurance, facing one of the toughest challenges on the farm. All the tasks have been completed today. The tractor managed the bales, the subsoiling, and the toughest challenge, hauling a trailer of stones uphill. It was a hard day, but the machine proved its strength. Now it returns to the farm as calm settles before the challenges to come. In modern farming, one tractor is often responsible for multiple tasks. In this animation, we'll follow a single machine as it tackles 2 very different jobs, spraying corn and collecting round bales from the field. To do this efficiently, it will need the right setup, including narrow tires for crop protection and an upgraded engine to handle heavy loads. Let's see how this tractor gets it done. With the narrow tires installed, the tractor is ready to begin work in the field. The slimmer tires reduce the risk of damaging crops when driving between rows of corn. The machine now approaches the sprayer. This sprayer is a trailed model, pulled behind the tractor, equipped with long, folding boom arms. Before entering the field, it must be filled with a liquid fertilizer mixture. The tractor stops next to the supply tank. A hose is connected to the sprayer's main tank, and the pump begins transferring the liquid. For corn, the dosage must be precisely calibrated. Too little will have no effect, and too much could damage the crop. Once filled, the tank is sealed tightly, and the boom arms begin to unfold. Everything is ready for spraying. The corn has been fully sprayed, with precise coverage across all rows. With the first task completed, it's time to prepare for the next operation, collecting round bales from the field. With the spraying process complete, the work on the farm continues without delay. The scene now moves to another field, where large straw bales are scattered across the land, waiting to be collected. Although the tractor has changed tasks, one thing remains the same: the need for careful handling of the terrain. The narrow tires, originally installed for spraying between corn rows, now provide additional benefits. They reduce soil compaction, allowing the tractor to move smoothly across soft areas of the field without creating deep ruts. This not only protects the soil structure but also improves fuel efficiency and traction. As the tractor approaches the bale, it begins its second operation of the day, collecting and transporting straw, an essential part of post-harvest work on the farm. Two different tasks, one reliable machine. From precision spraying between rows of corn to collecting heavy straw bales across open fields, the tractor has proven its versatility and strength. With the work completed for the day, it returns to the farm, ready for whatever comes next. The day on the farm began early. After feeding the animals in the morning, the farmer looked toward the yard. Behind the barn, there was an empty piece of land that had long awaited a new purpose. This was where the solar installation would be built. For this task, a regular trailer will be needed to transport the metal frames. First, the sturdy steel structures must be delivered to the farm. At the construction equipment base, all the necessary materials for the solar installation are already prepared. Steel frames, structural elements, and tools have been carefully organized so they can be quickly transported to the farm. For this task, a regular trailer is enough to carry the metal frames and bring them safely to the site. Once the materials arrive, a mini excavator will also be needed. This time it is equipped with a special auger for drilling holes. With it, the foundation piles can be placed precisely, ensuring the entire installation remains stable and secure. The mini excavator arrived at the farm and immediately began its task. Equipped with an auger, it moved slowly behind the barn where the solar installation was planned. The operator positioned the machine at the first spot and started drilling. The auger cut into the ground, creating deep holes for the foundation piles. Each opening was carefully prepared to ensure that the panel structure would later stand strong and secure. With all the holes drilled, it was time to assemble the installation. First, the foundation piles were placed firmly in the ground, creating a solid base for the entire structure. Next, the metal frames were mounted onto the foundations, carefully aligned at the proper angle to the sun. Finally came the most important step, installing the solar panels, which were set one by one, forming neat rows of shining surfaces. With all the work completed, the installation came to life. The panels set up behind the barn now capture sunlight every day and convert it into electricity. The power flows through the inverter and supplies the entire farm, from lighting in the cowshed to water pumps and even modern machines. Any surplus energy can be sent back to the grid, making the farm more self-sufficient. It is a step toward modern farming and a cleaner future. Each day, the photovoltaic installation produced more electricity. The farmer invested in new electric solutions, starting with a charging station for a modern motocross bike. Soon, smaller machines joined, an electric wheelbarrow, battery-powered tools, and a utility vehicle. Step by step, the farm became more modern and ecological. The farm was peaceful. The sheds were full of machines, and the old tractors were resting after a whole season of work. But that day, something changed. Onto the yard drove a new, shiny tractor. Clean, powerful, and still smelling like the factory. All the machines looked on with curiosity. The new tractor rolled slowly past them, its engine running quietly and smoothly. It stopped in the middle of the yard. Today, it had its first task. In the barn stood a trailer loaded with bags full of grass seed, ready to be spread on the new pasture. The task was simple: deliver and scatter the seeds evenly across the field. tractor slowly reversed, carefully making sure to line up perfectly with the hitch. Once in position, it connected to the fertilizer spreader, a sturdy, modern machine that was also perfect for spreading grass seed. An excavator drove onto the yard. Its bucket lifted the first bag of seeds and gently poured the contents into the spreader's hopper. One by one, the remaining bags were emptied until the hopper was filled to the brim with fine, golden grass seeds. The tractor stood ready, the sunlight reflecting off the fresh paint on its hood. Everything was prepared for its first job in the field. The tractor had reached the field and stopped at the edge, right at the marked starting line. The engine purred steadily, and the spreader mechanism was ready for action. Slowly, the machine began to move forward, releasing a fine, steady stream of grass seeds that fell gently onto the freshly prepared soil. The GPS system guided the tractor with great precision, keeping each pass perfectly straight. With every turn of the wheels, the machine moved into the next section of the field, while the spreader distributed the seeds evenly across the ground. A light breeze carried a few stray seeds just beyond the marked paths. From above, the field gradually filled with neat, parallel lines. Sunlight reflected off the tractor's metal parts, and in the distance, near the field's edge, other machines stood quietly, watching the newcomer at work. Each pass brought the tractor closer to covering the entire surface with seeds, soon to begin their journey toward becoming a lush green pasture.